This ain't entertainment. This is a move. This is prophecy with a pulse. A soundtrack for the remnant. We don't just make music. We speak fire from the corners of the city to the gates of the kingdom. From survival to revival, from chemo chairs to dry bones rising. The Aurelius Radio ain't just about beats. It's about power. Power to heal. Power to rise. Power to remember who we really are. We're street bred, spirit led, anointed with the oil of war and peace. We don't fold. We don't flinch. We go gangster on fear. We go holy on sickness. We go full of flames for the people of Yah. So if you're tired of dead religion, if you're done with fake healing, if your soul been searching for the real sound of heaven, you just tapped in. This is your Aurelius. And this is the sound of faith on fire.
We are the remnant, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, once scattered to the four corners but never forgotten. For Yah's word don't break, it lives, breathes, and stands forever.
Before the ships, before the chains, we walked in covenant. Holy names from Adam to Enoch, through Noah's line, set apart, righteous by design. Abraham chosen, the promise made, a people formed, a nation raised. From Moses and Sinai the law was given, our heritage pure, our mission driven. I'm rooted in Hebrew, born of the flame. Carry the book, they buried the name. Scattered and torn, but chosen still by Yah's own word, His sovereign will. Rooted in Hebrew, rise again. From the dust of Zion through His hand. Not by power, not by might, but by Yah's strength I stand upright. They took our scrolls, they changed our tongue, erased our story, the songs unsung. Apocryphal whispers, truth they hid, but wisdom cries from what they did. We crossed the waters, a curse foretold, chains on our necks, the prophets told. Deuteronomy 28 was clear. We lose our name, forget who we were here. But now the trumpet sounds in the land, the dry bones rise, Yah's mighty hand. The book returns, the seals undone, Judah awakens, Ephraim won. Eyes now open, truth revealed, our hearts restored, our spirits healed. We are the light they tried to hide, brings her to high. I'm rooted in He, born of the flame. Carry the book, they bury the name. Scattered and torn, but chosen still by Yah's own word, His sovereign will. Rooted in Hebrew, I rise again. From the dust of Zion through His hand. Not by power, not by might, but by Yah's strength I stand upright. They buried the name, scattered and torn, but chosen still by Yah's own word, His sovereign will. Rooted in Hebrew, I rise again. From the dust of Zion through His hand. Not by power, not by might, but by Yah's strength I stand upright.
The prophecy fulfilled, now look around, the nations fall. Babylon tremble in Yah's last call. Israel rise and tribes restored, the covenant renewed, Yah's word assured. We'll walk in glory, robed in white under Yahusha's everlasting light. No more pain, no more war, our King reigns forevermore.
We are not lost, we are found, rooted in truth, sealed in covenant, chosen from the foundation of the world, and it's by Yah's strength, not man's, forever. Rooted in Hebrew.
Too good. What do you call?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome back to Rooted in Hebrew. My name is Mike. Oh man, I gotta turn this thing off. Hold on just one moment. Leave it on. There was this incident. Well, no, it was not an incident like it happened one time. Now, there's this situation rather. With this guy, and don't get me wrong, it's been done plenty of times. And this is the reason why I titled this as Plan Us Weak. Hey, how you doing, Kay Medina? Plan Us Weak. And there's this Russian guy who's out there going to Africa and, misleading the sisters and things of that nature. It's been reported that it would appear that he got, the authorities caught him. And so they're supposed to be deporting him back to Russia. But he's not the first. It was It was an Asian guy. And I remember this one. This Asian guy, he was really notorious. And he was taking pictures of little sisters. When I say little, I'm talking about they was 13 years old. And he had them compromised. And but this sister, she did a live. This a couple of years ago. She did a live, and she had his face and everything, what he was doing. But some brothers mocked up comments as if they were supporting what he was doing. They laid hands on him. That's what I can say. They laid hands on him. Brothers, sisters, although these things are happening with our sisters in Africa, it still affects us, no matter how you look at it. It still affects us, period. Now, for the vast majority of people, the world, they will enjoy what he puts out. They're going to enjoy it. But then at the same time, they fall up under judgment. Those that are enjoying it and the person who's, putting it out there. See, it's easy to step into a situation and thinking you getting away. And you may go on with your life and you may make some money and things, but you still got yourself hemmed up. It's going to come around. And then for these characters that's out here that's doing that and then filming it because they're making money. And unfortunately, in Satan's system, you can become rich by doing low down, dirty things. That's off the top. Anybody know that. Everybody knows, hey, you do something like this, you will make money. And this is Satan's system. You do something that's going to promote unity, love, all that. Now, you're going to be broke. Shalom, shalom, Sister Patia. I'm glad you came in, sis. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening. The colonizers went over to Africa and did what they did. They colonized the place. And then as the powers that be to this day, they say it is very important for their survival that Africa remains poor. All righty? What do you get when you have a continent of poor people? You get misused. A person in Africa can come up, kidnapped. A child can come up kidnapped. The world ain't gonna do that. What? Here in the United States, let a black child come up miss a black girl. They're not gonna put that effort in. If that child slip up and they find, all right, fine. But for the vast majority of sisters that has come up missing, they still missing. This is the world in which we live in. We can sit up and talk all of this. Oh, there's We building bridges. No, we're not. That bridge is still a gap. It's going to remain a gap because there's a hatred that has to continue until the Most High says it's enough. It's going to have to continue. There was this brother, and it's sad. And, you know, one thing I will say this. For us who speak against us, we get judged quick. And I know some of you brothers and sisters have seen a situation where you had a sister or you had a brother who spoke against their own people. There was one brother, I think he was a dancer. And he was talking about how, you know, he don't date black women and things of that nature and all that. Yeah, the same person he was putting on a pedestal was the person that took his life. A sister did the same thing. But this guy here, this Gentile white guy, she got on her little channel, said all this about black men. It would appear, brothers, that when you speak against your own people, you get judged quickly. That man cut up her body. He cut her body up. This here speaking against your own people comes with a judgment, Israel. Whether you woke or not, it comes with a judgment. We've seen it too many times. When the Most High told Abraham, I'm going to bless those that bless you, and I'm going to curse those that curse you. Brothers, you can curse your own brothers and sisters. You trust and believe. You're going to get that judgment. You're going to get that judgment. Now, what this Russian was out there doing, and it is reported now that these sisters did not know that they was being recorded. And they're saying now I don't know how true this is, that one of the sisters in Africa took her life when she found out he put the video on some type of channel where they can see their inner reaction. And it's sad because when it's all over said and done, it was money. See, this is the reason why these nations or these powers that be saying it is important to keep Africa poor. They can go in and misuse poor people. And they did. They did it. HIV, what are they coming in telling them it was a shot for malaria. That's how they got over on our people. And the sad thing about it is this, brothers. They put themselves in a position to make like they are missionaries. That's what they made themselves out to be. And unfortunately, our brothers and sisters still falling for that same old game. Now, I can understand the reason why we African Americans are looked down upon, because we can see them coming from a mile away. And we do not share the mentality of the brothers and sisters in Africa. And it's sad because we don't bow our heads down to them. Those days came, they're gone. And we're not even trying to entertain of it coming back. And they can say all that dumb stuff all they want. They can say it all they want. And they can desire it all they want. But we learned, and we know who we deal with. And they do not like the fact that, hey, we know how you get down. We know that you can sit up here and talk like you're a saint. Because some of them call them some St. Patrick's and all that. Get up out of here. Just to appeal to the people. To appeal a lie, to cover up the truth of who they truthfully are inside. There was this Gentile lady. And then this is the sad thing about it is when I say that they put up a pretense of who they are, they do, and they still do it right down to this very day. They will sit there, talk all calmly, and sound so supportive. But when it really hits the fan, nah, they breaking count. And they gonna leave you at your own whims. And hey, when I was in Tanzania, there was this village, this one particular village. And I was talking to this brother that was from the village. And he was saying how the elders told the young sisters not to bring another Asian baby into that village. It really got on their nerves that these Asians was coming through that village, laying babies. Now, mind you, the Asian, or I'm gonna say Chinese, they cannot bring, whether the child is theirs, they cannot bring a child from Africa to China, period. They can't do it. Shalom, shalom, Brother Dave. They cannot do it. But this is just showing you that they use money because these sisters, they looking for support. They seen the rough side of life. They seen, hey, they got to get out there and break up land or whatever just to eat. We seen, those sisters seen the rough side of it, and they're looking for a better life. And you can't blame nobody for that because you got brothers and sisters here that's trying to make their way just to get ahead. But the way the system is set up, no, the way the system is set up for the vast majority of us, it's always going to be the rat race that you're going to be in. Yeah, they playing us. They're playing us weak. They are. But they're about to get hemmed up. That's what's truthfully at hand. There's a hemming up of them. You think that you go have these, you see a people that is in need, and you come by abusing that need, and you have full-blown knowledge. This person is in need. What did Yahushua say? He said when he was poor, hungry, and everything like that, you did not come and check out to me. All right, and they said, when do we see you hungry or in prison that we did not come minister to you? But they took it too far. Their helpfulness came with a price. That's what it did. It came with a price. And they brought, they did whatever they wanted to do in Africa, and they still doing it. There is this brother that lives in, I think, France, and he caught some flack for this. He's a well-known, he's a car racer, and he's well-known. And he said the brothers in Africa, and he's biracial, but he's pretty much on his African side. And he said that his brothers, the governments and things, need to really press the world to get all these other countries out of Africa. That's what he said. And he caught a lot of flack for it. He did. He caught it. He said, but he said what he said. And he meant what he said. He sees all the injustice that they are doing in Africa, from stealing minerals to raping women and kidnapping people. Let's not even mention organs. They know who we are, and especially the sisters. And I say especially the sisters because the sisters' reproductive system is superior amongst all women. If you think I'm joking, look that up. That's one thing they do know. They made a movie about this one particular, I forgot that sister's name, but Oprah Winfrey, she played the daughter of that particular sister. I forgot the name. But anyway, they still using that sister's DNA right down to this very day. This is the world that's playing us. We're not nowhere close to being weak like they was preaching to us. They preach that each and every day. Oh, you want to amount to nothing. Until it really, truthfully, it affected us. It did. It affected us very badly. I mean, it was prophesied that it was going to happen. The Most High said, we will keep our heads down. And we did. We kept our heads down. But when the time came, when the Most High said, rise up, oh man, we lifted our heads. And in this time in which we're living, we're not even trying to bow no heads or bow no eyes. But when the Most High said, rise up, we rise. We rose. That's what we did. Whether you woke or not, you rose. You rose up. We start recognizing things. And we start speaking about these things. And the strongest thing that you can ever do to a nation or a person is speak against them. What? Let's go back in the days. If anybody spoke against a particular politician or country, and you was not in line, what happened? You got deleted. The brother that spoke about C-19, the president of Tanzania, and he did the push-ups and everything, but oh no, all of a sudden he come up sick and he died. But we African Americans, we see that, we hear it. The first thing we say, no, he was taken out. He was taken out. And for the vast majority of people, they believe what African Americans were saying. We know our enemy very well. We know them very well. And that's a thorn in their flesh, because they cannot change who they are. The only thing they can do is throw up a front. Throw that front up. To show you, brothers, I was telling you, brothers and sisters, about what's that brother? This brother in Africa. I told you, he was dealing with cancer, and he was losing blood. So the police told the daughter, or the granddaughter rather, that she couldn't come around him because the auntie ran into this white guy, and this white guy was, he had the policeman gave this white guy the floor like he was the president of Wanza. They gave him the floor. So he made an accusation against the sister that she was trying to kill this brother, give him some poison. The police believed it on the strength of his word. So they expelled both of them, the granddaughter and my wife. They expelled them. They told them they had to go back to, she had to go back to her village, and then my wife went back to Dar. Now, so this man, white guy, was saying he wanted to help pay for this brother's treatment. And then the daughter went back home and explained what happened to her grandfather. They don't know whether he's living or dead. They don't know. They cut the contact off. because the auntie the auntie was in cahoots with the white guy until the nurse called last week and said that why do you all leave him here in the hospital by himself? So now the question is, they was like, what's going on? They said, no, the white guy haven't been here in 4 or 5 days. And the auntie, they said they haven't seen her. They call her, she don't pick up the phone. So they had to call the last number, which was the granddaughter. So now she's traveling back to go check on her grandfather, but the police told her she couldn't. So the nurse got to call the police to tell the police that this white guy is no longer around, nor is the auntie. And this man is in the hospital all by himself. You see, this is the reason when I first said it, when I first told you, old brothers and sisters, about the story, I called him a demon. I did. And he did demonistic things. He moved just like a demon. Want to come there, play like he's a saint. And the policemen, all they was looking for was a few dollars. This is a sad, pitiful situation. And that's all it took. And then once, the money got spread out, he bought a little cheap cell phone and he moved on about his business. This is the thing. And I will say this. It is a privilege to be an African American. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I say that now. Or because we recognize our enemy. We do. We see things coming from afar. But unfortunately, our brothers and sisters on that continent don't see it like that. They see a white guy, they thinking the Messiah done popped up. And they get hemmed up. Now, it is also reported that this guy here, this Russian guy, was passing HIV along. I mean, he's there in Africa. Oh, yeah, you keep on messing with him. Keep on doing what you're going to do. You'll get yourself hemmed up. But there is always a judgment when you're thinking you're going to play our brothers and sisters like that and everything will be copacetic with you. Man, you done lost your everlasting mind. But this is what's going on. But now, and then like I said, but I would say this though, for the vast majority of brothers that I have been seeing that's posting their information, no, you got these African brothers saying they lied to us. This is their message on TikTok, and I've seen it on both YouTube, TikTok, and they're letting brothers and sisters know on both sides. They lied to us. They broke us up. And I'm talking about these are Africans now. Letting the world know, letting brothers know, hey, they lied to us. We need to come back together. This is what they're pushing. Shalom, shalom, Sister Van P. I'm glad you came in, sis. This is what they're doing. And you have sisters doing the same thing. This is that bridge that the world did not and do not want. Because like I said, there's an old video out there. This white guy literally just stood there on a stage and said, it is very important that we keep Africa poor. And we can attest to that. They was over getting gold, getting all types of mineral, and then just shooting it back to their country. Refine it, sell it, making a killing. That's what they was doing. Now, somebody went there, turned the faucet off. Now the world is upset. What do you think this war is about, brothers? You think this war is about somebody saying somebody, they were, no, Putin went over there to Africa. He did. He said, y'all need to, just straighten this thing out. And Putin started throwing money around. Putin, matter of fact, there was one country that owed him $23 billion. He wiped the slate clean. That's what he did. So he became more of an adversary to the United States because the United States was over there. They was over there living it up. And there's this other president. He started to notice this, and he spoke about it. How is it that you can have an African that lives in this particular country, and we make it difficult for him to go visit that country? But he said a white person can come here and just walk through the front door as if there's no hindrance for that person at all, until the world starts speaking about certain things like this Russian here and the Asian guy. Yeah, they got a hold to him. Well, the government did not get a hold to the Asian guy. Some brothers did. But for this Asian guy, it has been noted that or stated that the government got involved with that. But when we reach out, and we know what we are reaching out for, they do not want that to go down that way, brothers, when it's all over said and done. We talking unity. We think unity, when they have always been this planning division. They did that for hundreds of years. You even have brothers here in this state that still think that our people is over there walking barefooted and things of that nature, and just don't know who's over there causing the havoc. Brothers, if y'all think this, let me put it this way. And I'm not being prejudiced when I say this now, but when white women get to midlife, what do? Vast majority, they vacation, go through a divorce, divorce their husband and they had kids with. Then they start traveling, and usually they travel where? Jamaica. Because they have on their bucket list, and y'all may think I'm joking, they did a study about this. And to sleep with a black man was one of the top 10 that they wanted to do. They did the same thing with men. Now, they excluded black men, but they had all other races. And they said a vast majority of them, it was like 90-some%, said before they died, they wanted to sleep with a black woman. But we hate it. We are hated. But yet and still, they want us. This is, I was saying, hey, we're going to be missed. Y'all may think I'm joking. We are going to be missed. It just ain't kicked in yet. We're going to be missed. When the Most High said, especially with this awakening, stick to your own people, he means it. Now, what you did when you was not woke, there's grace. But when you woke, you understand who you are. You understand that those laws, that the Most High did not make a mistake on those laws. The world can say what it want to say. Religion can say what it want to say. And they're going to say what they want to say. The Most High stated, he does not change. He does not change. So now with all of that, and with this awakening, yeah, we know for a fact how we should be moving. Now, how can I put this now? Because I really don't want to. I think it has to be said. And that's one of the reasons why I do not subscribe to the 12 charts, because you're saying these people here, these people there, you know, the Spaniards are this tribe. No, I do not. That's just me. Scripturally speaking, Judah was the one that went into the four corners of the earth, scripturally speaking. And how these brothers come up with that notion that 12 charts, I mean, truthfully, I don't entertain it and things, because it's going to open up a lot of nonsense. That's what it's going to do eventually, because the Most High said, I mean, we're going to be least of the nation. He said it. Wherever we are at, we're going to be least of those people. We're going to be a remnant. And now how they, you know, pushing that notion, brothers, I mean, is it to open up or to keep the interracial thing going? It could be. I don't know, because I never follow brothers or sisters with that notion. That's just me. Now, I ran up on one brother, and he spoke against black women, but he was claiming, you know, he is real. I mean, I'm not the one to sit up and tell him who he is and who he's not. But you're going to sit there and talk about your own sister. Because, I mean, when you talk about them, you call, and especially when you call them out their name, the first thing that pops in my head is the blessing and the curse that the Most High said to Abraham. I seriously believe that. I hold on to that. Now, and don't get me wrong, there are some camps out there that's, you know, they use that type of language. Now, how the Most High is going, that's the Most High is going to deal with them, how they getting down. But the last thing that we need is to be playing our own people weak. That's the last thing that we need, is to be sitting here calling our sisters B's and H's, and we claim to be woke. Somebody gonna get hemmed up. Now, we've seen it plenty of times where men, brothers and sisters, get on there talking about, I want a white man that's intelligent, or I don't date black men for this reason. And they come with everything in the world, and they would act as and speak as if they are highly intelligent until they get hemmed up. Until they get hemmed up. You're talking about two different cultures, brothers, when you dip into something like that. That's what you're looking at. You're dealing with that. Now, you may go in there and say, you know what, I'm marry, and I'm just go denounce who I am. And brothers did it. They did it. They literally denounced. Now, brothers, you know what? Let me do it this way. I'm going to play this video. But your line of thoughts, well, you know what? I'm going to just play the video. Hold on just for a moment. Let me do it this way.
Reporting live from Hybrid Clubhouse in Atlanta for Hype Plus News, I'm John Alba. Now, everyone is talking about this fatal shooting that will take place in Georgia this past weekend, which involved a white woman killing her black boyfriend. The incident took place in Waynesboro, Georgia, approximately a 2.5-hour drive out of Atlanta. According to the Shade Room, who would report the story, the Burke County Sheriff said a fatal shooting over the weekend that claimed the life of Telvin Osborne was not accidental,
Ooh, I
and
tell you, I
that his
don't practice
girlfriend,
this.
Hannah
Hold on
Cobb,
just for a
is a
moment.
suspect.
Okay. Okay, I think this is it.
For Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba. Now, everyone is talking about this fatal shooting that will take place in Georgia this past weekend, which involved a white woman killing her black boyfriend. The incident took place in Waynesboro, Georgia, approximately a 2.5-hour drive out of Atlanta. According to the Shade Room, who would report the story, the Burke County Sheriff said a fatal shooting over the weekend that claimed the life of Telvin Osborne was not accidental, and that his girlfriend, Hannah Cobb, is a suspect. In a news conference, Waynesboro, Georgia Sheriff Alfonso Williams held a news conference Tuesday afternoon, stating both parties had been drinking and there was a confirmed altercation before the shooting. Now, investigators say they found Osborne in the master bedroom with a gunshot wound to the chest. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Now, multiple news outlets have also reported that Cobb was the person who notified authorities of the shooting and was applying pressure to the wound as the police arrived. In addition, she would tell authorities she and Osborne had been out all night. She was checking her firearm and the gun went off, hitting Osborne. However, according to Sheriff Williams during a news conference, he would inform viewers regarding the misinformation that has been spread about the case, including the suspect cleaning the weapon. Williams would say at no point during the investigation was there any information about a person cleaning a weapon. Now, in the wake of Osborne's death, his alleged tweets are now surfacing where he has talked negatively about black women. Allegedly, Osborne's old Twitter account features the username White Girls Are Fun, hasn't been active since July 2012. Now, in the bio of the account, it reads, "I love them white girls, they already know. Tailbow in between, tailbow in between. Hashtag Team White Girls. Hashtag Snow Bunnies." Other tweets under his profile said, hashtag Team White Girls. White girls over black girls. Another Facebook post from 2021 shows the former couple together with the caption reading, "I'll kill for her. I'll kill about her. I ain't scared to say I'll die about her." Now, there was also alleged message that he would release on his Facebook, which would say, "I'll F a dog before I F a black bee. It gotta be a white dog though." Now, after this new information was released to the public, many had a change of opinion towards the case, specifically how Osborne disparaged and talked down on black women in favor of white women. One of Osborne's cousins would advocate for justice in this case because it took some time for Cobb to be arrested. Before she was charged, Osborne's cousin would tweet, "My cousin's girlfriend, Hannah Cobb, killed him Sunday morning and is claiming that she got drunk at the club and came home to clean her gun at 5 a.m. and it accidentally went off. Her dad is a cop and currently she has not been charged. The Burke County Sheriff has already been warned that it's about to get very real down there. My family is too deep in that area for this to be taken lightly. Rest in heaven, Telvin. We gotta get justice one way or another." His cousin would follow up that message with another, acknowledging he doesn't support his cousin's past tweets. Now, Cobb would finally be arrested Tuesday on a charge of felony involuntary manslaughter and booked into the Burke County Jail, according to authorities. And for the record, I don't agree with any of his views, and in this instance, he's just my cuz that was offed. All that berating black women stuff is not something I agree with. It looks like even the cousin's tweets wasn't enough to muster up sympathy after most learned Osborne's thoughts on black women and his preference for white women. Many black social media users would jokingly agree to stay out of the news story as it has nothing to do with them. One social media user would write, "Rest in preference." Another user would jokingly add, "Well, he definitely died about her. I mean, by her." One more user on social media would send a message to other black users writing, "Skin folk, stay out of this one. We not riding at dawn. Finally, one more user would simply say, Happy Black History Month. This is none of our business. So, what do you guys think about the situation and Telvin Osborne's former tweets talking negatively about Black women? Let us know in the comments below. Plus, stay up to date for the latest news in comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing here to our YouTube channel and follow.
That's that type of I've seen it too many times. I've seen it too many times where brothers and sisters, they speak against their own brothers and sisters. This is that division that we have to continue to fight. We got to continue to fight it. Whether we woke or not, that right there, that curse, it comes down. And truthfully, don't get me wrong. When I read when he was talking about snow bunnies and everything, a measure of sympathy, yeah, it left. It did. Because he talking about a black bee, and he referencing the sister as dogs, and then he referenced the white girl as dogs, but he'd rather have a white dog. This is how serious, or how the depth of a controlling mechanism that the nations have done to us. There was this sister that lives in Illinois. Oh, she's worse. Truthfully, she's worse than the Klan. She's married to, a white man. He, down to earth, seemingly speak respectful, but her, now whatever conversation they have, behind in their own home, I do not know. But the way she gets down with black people is horrendous. She's an absolute trip. This woman, she hates black people, hates them. She's black. And I had to say to myself, now y'all having some type of conversations that he is saying behind closed doors, because I'm looking at all this hate. Where is it coming from? Who is encouraging you to speak against your own people? Brothers, this is one of the things with this awakening, especially with this awakening of talking down to our brothers and sisters, man, brothers, like I said, I'm a firm believer that you can get yourself hemmed up by speaking against your own brothers and then trying to raise up another nation against your own brothers. They're going to stick together. They're going to stick together. That's one thing that these nations are going to do. Look at it. Look at the history. Yeah, we had a whole lot of nothing ever came easy for us. Fighting to stay with one another. It's a struggle. When I'm talking about staying, I'm talking about as a people. And it's kind of hard for us here in the United States. But I tell you one thing, when the incident with George Floyd, please, we woke up. We woke up with a togetherness. And then while that was going on, what happened, brothers? Now you're seeing brothers and sisters coming together for George Floyd and everything. And then how did the devil come into that? How did he get in there? Oh, they call it Black Lives Matter. A black lady, white lady, they married or together. The black lady, she let it be known that she's a witch. She did an interview letting people know that she speaks to Azael every day. She had a YouTube video. Now, when George Floyd and all these other brothers and sisters, when they was being gunned down, yeah, it got our attention. Yes, it did. George Floyd went international, though. He went international. But Black Lives Matter was right there with it. And I'm going to show you how demonic it was. Black Lives Matter came in. They hopped on our platform. That's what they did. They hopped on our platform of all of this senseless killing of our people. And how did Black Lives Matter come off? They formed their own platform eventually. And it was quick. They call it LTGB or XYZ plus. That's what they called it. And that's how they came in, and they got their own platform. They got a crime bill. We don't. They have a crime bill. And we, as a literal people, flesh and blood, still do not have a crime bill. All the other nationalities in the United States, they have a crime bill. And then we're going to go right back to the title. They plan us weak. They're literally playing us weak. But they're about to get themselves hemmed up. That's what's about to happen. And it's being seen as we speak. It is literally being seen. The things that the world think it can put in place to get us hemmed up are hemming themselves up. What? When what's the name? Trump was talking about getting rid of food stamps. Oh yeah. And like I stated, they go throw that black woman out there. She gonna be that poster child. And she was. But when the dust, and it didn't even settle. But when the numbers came in, they come, wait a minute, hold on. Black people are not the no. They are not number one on food stamps. It was the Gentiles. Oh, what happened with that story, brothers? Oh, it started to fade then. But they still kept that black woman while it was fading out. That's what they did, playing us weak. Playing us weak. They this situation, brothers, and I can understand why. Now I understand a whole lot better why we, and I'm just talking about African Americans, why African Americans are really truthfully hated. Now we understand it a whole lot better. It's like we're yelling to the world, to our people, they on some dumb stuff. We know it. We have the information, and we're telling you, hey, they are not your friends. They're going to get what they need to get out of you and then leave you high and dry. This is their history. Now, this is not hate, brothers. This is the truth. Now, don't get me wrong now. There's some Gentile that's like real. They down to earth. They support the cause. They ride with the cause. But for the vast majority of them, you can get yourself hemmed up. When you start to believe and to trust, You got a problem. You have a problem. When doctors can come in and say, "Oh, you so and so," well, let me just do it this way. My cousin was in the hospital years ago, had her leg open up, and so they called me, and so I went to the hospital. All of her kids was there, standing over her bed, and so there was this doctor, and he was explaining the situation, her situation, and everything was dire. Me, I'm looking upside the doctor's head, and I'm like, because something was off. And and the doctor was saying we had to leave her leg open up so it can heal inside. And when I say it was open, ooh, good night now. It was open. And I'm talking about from my cousin was cut from the top, not the top of her thigh, but like the middle of her thigh all the way down to her leg. And it was claiming that she had some type of saying sepsis or something like that. And I'm like, okay. So I started asking this doctor some questions. I'm not no doctor. But he had the daughters of the mother crying. They all crying. The boys, they just standing there with a straight face, looking down at their mama. One may shed a tear here or there. But everything he was talking about was dire. And I'm like, but don't you think it would be best to cover her wound? I mean, with some gauze or something? I mean, anything can fly. You know, a fly can fly over to her in her flesh. And I'm like, and so, but now, mind you, now, my cousin was still alert, talking and things of that nature. And I'm like, dude, why are you sounding so sad like she's about to die right in front of her? Oh, no. When you start questioning them, that's when they start to draw back a little bit. So he drew back. Oh, he shouldn't have drew back because I went in a little bit more. Now, my cousin, the daughters of my cousin, and you know, the tears start to, you know, they start crying. So now they're starting to ask questions. Then now that's when he wanted to bring in another doctor. 2 weeks later, my cousin got out of the hospital and went home. Leg healed up and all that. But he was preaching, oh, death is around the corner. Brothers, I always stated, and the scriptures do. The scriptures always states there's power in your tongue. It's power in your tongue. Until we really understand the strength that we have, we want to get hemmed up. But the more we start to understand that we have that power, and then the more we practice that plan us weak, it's going to fall on a deaf ear. And don't get me wrong, it's already started. Shalom, Sister Cynthia. It's already started. What do they say? Oh, you can't tell a black man nothing. Oh, yeah, they already know it. He think he know, and he does. He does. We do know it. We know how you get down. And the worst thing that, like I stated earlier, is when you know who your enemy is. You know how your enemy moves. We, brothers, can hear a conversation, and we can determine, yeah, he on some dumb stuff. He or she is on some dumb stuff. They're trying to talk down to me by using these type of words and thinking we don't know. But the most dangerous thing that you can ever have is to speak against your own brothers. That's the most dangerous thing that we can do. And we got to get rid of it. We got to get away from it. There was this sister, and she said this to her daughter. Her daughter was, sick, was sickly, but she wanted to be closer to her boyfriend. And so the mother told the daughter, you don't need to go there. You need to stay here where I can take care of you. Truthfully, she did need the care. She did. And her mother was taking care of her. But she wanted to be close to her boyfriend. He was like 100 something miles away. And the mother was saying, I can't travel that far to come and take care of you. If all you're going to do is go up there, you will get sick and you go die. Brothers, there's power in your tongue. Listen to me. There's power in that tongue. That sister didn't even last a month. Not 1 month. She got sick, she died. The thing about it is, she was not in the hospital when she got sick. She was at home. She died and she was in that home all by herself until they asked the boyfriend to go check on her. He went to check. That he was the one who found her. He was the one who found her. Now, this same situation with the mother happened with the son. And she spoke. And I'm telling you, when I say there's power, brothers, there's power in it. And she was stating that she's scared if he was sickly too. And she was scared that if he had a stroke, because it was talking about his sugar going up and down, he can have a stroke. If he have a stroke and he live, she was concerned about how she go take care of him. The brother died. Yeah. And he was found in his place by his mother. But she spoke some things over both of her kids. And both of them died. Brothers, there's power in it. There's power in your tongue. I tell you. Wait a minute, Sister Cynthia. You say I turn into my healing song. Hey, let me tell you something. Keep singing it. Keep singing it. And the more you take these songs in your heads or whatever, the speech, you're going to get stronger. You got to start, brothers, we got to start rebuking some things that people be saying to us, about us, things of that nature. Understand that strength. No, don't love me like you do. Brother Dave. You know what? But let me say it this way. We have different generations living at the same time. And so certain generation is, as some people say, are stuck in their ways, which I don't subscribe to that. Anybody can change. That's if you want to change. And I don't care how old you may be. You could be 99.9 years old. You still can change. Period. It's when you don't want to change, that's when it gets deadly. That's when it becomes an issue. And this is the reason why I say we need to keep our minds open to the Most High. If we believe in something, brothers, and we thinking it's based on scripture and things, and we could be misinterpreting the scripture, have an open heart to take that correction. Have an open heart to take that correction. Because I tell you, there's some brothers out here that they, I mean, some of the arguments based on scripture can turn into, it can get heated. I'm not trying to have that type of heat. You know, if it gets to that point where I'm not really understanding what the brother is saying, hey, leave it alone. Come back to it at another time. But talking about our brothers and sisters, no, and then not having an open heart to take things in. Because I tell you, religion got our people stuck in it. Religion has our people stuck. You can have a scripture, brother, that's like black and white. It is written like with absolute understanding. But the way the devil came in and had them misled, it's like you can see it, they can't see it because they are thoroughly misled. But that's where you really have to reach the heart. It's planting that seed in their heart. That's the one. That's the one. That's what we will have to do. And truthfully, brothers, we doing it. This is the reason why we hate it. I have always asked that question. Why? I mean, I knew it was hated, but what is the reason why this nation was telling other nations about African Americans? Are they lazy? The men, they carry diseases. The women, they just have babies by different men. That's what they were saying about African Americans. Yeah, they went in on us. But now you start to understand who we are and how we are with this awakening, how we are getting down. We're shedding light. We keep talking about the same subject. And the more you talk about it, the more it starts to kick in. That's what's happening. This awakening, oh yeah. There's no decrease in it. There is no decrease in this awakening. It's only about an increase. And you let this increase continue to grow. What's going to happen? Shalom, shalom, Sister Pixie Dust. I'm glad you came in, sis. What's going to happen if this, with this increasing of of this awakening? What? Somebody money is going to be looking funny. If we the Most High continue to wake his people up, that money is coming out from the churches. You want to talk about a church being hemmed up? Let this. People are speaking about 2026 as the year. And don't get me wrong, brothers, I feel the same way. There's something special about this year. That's just me now. It's just me. I follow one brother and he broke some things down. And he says it's better late than not to be here. I forgot my phone. Ain't that about a trip? Sister, you wrote that comment, Sister Nana. I was oh my goodness. But anyway, we're looking at a system that is. I need to turn this thing off. Hold on just for a moment. There you go. We're looking at a system that truthfully, people, they're concerned. They're concerned. But at the same time, they're concerned about their survival. That's what they're concerned. But they understand it for the powers that be, for the powers that know what the true and real matters are. Those are the ones who's concerned. These low level politicians, they just trying to get some money. They're trying to maintain some power. But the ones, they know that these African Americans are the ones who standing on the top of the mountain and yelling. They know this and they understand. The moment they realize they have a power of speech, they're going to shake the earth. And the shaking is happening, brothers. The shaking is happening right as we speak. Yes, the world, I mean, we seeing it. Now, I don't know this. I'm just going, what YouTube news is saying. That what's the dude, Netanyahu, they said that he's supposed to be dead. And then they said he came out with a video and they said it was AI because they was playing the video and they said he had 6 fingers and things of that nature. Now, brothers, truthfully, that ain't my concern. It ain't gonna do anything to diminish what the Most High says is going to happen. Period. It's not going to diminish anything. Whatever is happening right now, and if like what they said, Iran said, oh no, Trump when they called in Condoleezza Rice, somebody must be kind of scared and nervous all at the same time. But Obadiah still go run. Those scriptures are going to fulfill itself. It's going to be fulfilled. No matter how what did the Most High say to Satan? He said he will put hooks in his jaw and drag him on to finish his to finish our judgment. You know what now, sister? He could. You know what? I'm gonna say that could be the case. That could be the case. But what he hiding from? What is he hiding from? You wanted this stuff. You've been speaking about this. He's been speaking about Iran for what? How many years? Yeah, it's been years. Every time they never had a video, he had to bring Iran in it. They got this. They getting capable of doing this. Why are you so scared? Why are you so concerned? And then you tell another country what they can and cannot have, but you got it. This is the system in which we live in, brothers. Now, when the Most High say they're going to speed up, oh yes, brother, it's sped up. It's sped up. And they got themselves hemmed up all at the same time. All at the same time. Now, he could be, you're right, Sister Pixie, does he could be. He could be. He probably went to his bunker. According to the Ethiopian Bible, this year is true. Oh, hold on for a moment. Let me put this on, sis. According to the Ethiopian Bible, this year is truly the year of the 400-year prophecy. Now, yeah, coming to a head. The Gregorian calendar is 7 years ahead of the Ethiopian calendar. 400 years are over on August 20th. Now, he's running in hell now. Yeah, brother, let me tell you something. Yeah, he did. He did. He thought Iran was a punk. He thought he could easily push them over. But and then he got the United States. Somebody's pimping somebody when it's all over said and done. Somebody is pimping somebody. I'm just trying to figure out who the true pimp is. Truthfully. Because it's like when he says something it gets done. Now, they got themselves hemmed up. But now going back to Sister Cynthia, I heard brothers say that, but then some other brothers there said they had 2 days. There was another day. It was 2024. But the only thing I'm looking at, sis, is this. In 2019, that was the time the world shut down. The world shut down. Now, and if let's just talk about that calendar. If we go from like they say 2019, I mean not 2019, 2016, I mean not 2016, good night, 1619, good night, is when our forefathers first came here. They was up on, the nation's calendar. And so that's the only reason I will say, all right, I will hold to this calendar of this nation, because that 400 years still added up. It still added up. 1619. And then that's when, and that's the only reason why I say that. But I do understand what you are saying there. But I was just looking at the fact, hey, all righty, pay back Caesar's thing to Caesar, but Yah's thing to Yah. Hey, this is Caesar. We are in Caesar's system. That's the only thing I was looking at, sis. And so I just looked at it, hey, and then especially when the world shut down for C-19, people were scared to mingle with one another and things of that nature until they got tired of being in the house, until they rebelled against the authorities. They was telling you, you couldn't come together and meet together, and because of this thing, people getting sick and things of that nature. Yeah, whatever. But that's just my take on it, sis. Because we are in captivity. We are under their jurisdiction, truthfully. Now, once we come out, now that's a different story. I will say that, sis, because a lot of things that we are supposed to do, we can't do due to captivity. That's the only thing I was looking at, Sister Cynthia, is that with this captivity, there are some things that it will hinder us to doing. And then too, at the same time, to really have a moment, because the scriptures stated is when we're back on our land, that's when the healing starts. That's when the healing starts for the nation. Now, right now, all we do, this is a praise moment. This is a praise moment for the fact we woke. All we doing right now, brothers and sisters, we praising the Most High. Now, yeah, we are looking at the laws. We are. Now, and there's some differences in the Shabbat. One brother, he was explaining, and don't get me wrong, he made sense. I understood what he was saying. He said, but we doing it wrong. And I'm like, all right, I got only thing that, I question, because when a brother's spirit is awkward or argumentative, I have a problem with that, because the Most High don't work that way. He wanted to prove his point so bad to it. He started arguing. He started nitpicking because I was not taking notes of what he was saying. I'm like, bro, you don't tell me what I got to do. I'm listening to you, and what you're saying is making sense, to a certain degree. I said, but your spirit, I said, that's the one that's messing me up, because the Most High don't move like the way you're moving. It's like you're going to pound something into me that you're not going to do. Hey, and I said, man, look here, it's best that let's leave this conversation alone, because your spirit is not right now. And so when your spirit get right, that's when you can teach. You're not going to force someone to believe what you don't. The Most High don't move that way. He doesn't. But hey, it is what it is, and we want to experience certain things with different brothers. And with this awakening, brothers, you got. Well, I ain't gonna call that brother name out, but there are some out here that do not believe that Yahushua HaMashiach is who he is. They think, no, he's still to come. But these are brothers, sisters saying, hey, they woke. I'm not trying to even, when I went on, I seen that he was on, I went on, and then they was talking about, they didn't say, it was like they was giving glory to, what did they say? I forgot what they even said. But it wasn't to Yahushua HaMashiach. It was not. But we have that part of the awakening. And I do remember one brother, he called when he called a group of us, he called us Messianic Hebrews. And I'm like, wait a minute. He was one who do not believe in Yahushua. And so, I mean, hey, I'm not going to talk about them and things of that nature. And but I was just kind of surprised at this awakening. And then when you go into the book of Daniel, it explains this awakening will be, it's going to be real. And it is real. It is, because you have individuals who believe this. You have individuals that believe that. Like I was explaining to you brothers one time, that brother I knew, he got hooked up with this camp. And they was talking about Yahushua, and things. He said, no, man, I don't, matter of fact, I don't believe none of the New Testament. That's what he's saying. But one thing, I'm going to tell you what he did, though. Every time you talk to him, or he want to talk about the Bible, he's always yelling and he gets upset. That's that spirit you have to look at. That's that spirit that you always have to look at. When you have a brother or sister, this is what they're getting upset about. They're yelling, getting upset. The Most High do not move in that manner. This brother would get highly upset. I'm like, bro, why are you yelling for? I'm just saying so and so so. He said, no. And he was very, because when he was just getting into the waking up, I turned him over to Truth Unedited. And man, and he said, man, I can vibe with this, Mike, because everything he's saying, he basing it up on the scriptures. But eventually he ran into this other brother. I mean, brothers, when I say you could run into people that can word scriptures and things of that nature. Whoever this brother was or is moved him from the New Testament. He said, I don't even trust Paul. I'm like, whether you trust Paul or not, man, I don't think Paul worried about it. That's what I'm saying to him. I'm like, bro, you hooked up with this brother and he's showing you something that's outside of the scriptures. And you took a book that's outside of the scriptures and you believe. And now your attitude went from being happy to be awakened. He was talking to his father about it and everything, to his mother about this awakening and things. He was calm, cool, and all that. And then all of a sudden, eventually, he went to anger. That's what he did. But this is the awakening that we got to continue to maintain it. If you believe in Yahushua HaMashiach, I mean, everything got to be based on our book. And yes, they did. They did. The nations did come in and they brought in a division. That's what they did. They brought in a division in the Bible until some individuals they're questioning the scriptures. That's what they're doing. And so they believe that, hey, there's some other books out there, that's more. Sister Cynthia, I said the same thing. It do sound like a Muslim doctrine, but now you do have some Muslims that believe in Jesus Christ and things of that nature. You do, but for the vast majority of them, they say that he did live. They would say Yahushua, or they would say Jesus lived, and he was just a intelligent man, but they refused to call him a Messiah. They refused that. Now, how this awakening, well, I ain't gonna say no awakening. Let's just say it. Because we all got to go to the wilderness, right? We're going to the wilderness. And the Most High said he's going to purge out from among his people the rebels. So, truthfully, brothers, it would appear to me, and I could be wrong now, I'm open up to correction. It would appear that the Most High is going to wake all of us up. It's going to be blatant. And I seriously believe it's going to be at a time with the greater Exodus. I do. Now, I would think at the same time now, I mean, the Most High, he's bringing us, this is going to be a blatant awakening, put it that way. And that's what I believe it's going to be. And it's going to be blatant for the ones who may have a hardened heart or who's stuck or maybe claiming to be stuck in their ways. That's going to be a way where you can be, wait a minute, you've never seen anything like this. Now, and for the ones out here telling their families there's going to be a greater exodus, and then when they do realize that this greater exodus is real and it's happening, now, that's going to be a time where they got to rethink what they think they know. That's how I see it. Now, I could be wrong, brothers, but the Most High is still warning his people to come out of Babylon. That's what he's still doing. He's still doing it. And then, who's that? The one sister said, it's going to take a lot for some of our people to believe. I believe that too. I believe there's going to be some of us, I'm talking about some of our brothers, that's going to be stuck in Babylon, thinking that they can make a way, although claiming to be woke. And then when they start to feel that iron heat up, that's when they go realize, oh, wait a minute, this thing is hot. I got burned. Let me get up out of here. That's, and with some individuals, that just may happen. The Most High said, if you do not want to receive part of her pledge, it sounds like the Most High knows his people. He knows his people. Ain't nothing changed about us, brothers. We the same people. If the Most High said, I'm going to take Israel at this Exodus, I'm going to bind these Exodus, and they're going to be the same people. We're going to be getting down the same way. We ain't going to be sitting right here talking about, oh, man, what was Israel thinking? The Most High gave them 10 plagues. The Most High told you to get out of Babylon. And you felt that heat. You got part of that plague. So now, yes, some of us is going to get burnt. Some of us is going to get burnt because we still got that residue of Babylon. And we ain't just talking about here in the United States, brothers. We're talking about the four corners of the earth, and including the continent of Africa. When he said, because I mean, what? Babylon sits on many waters. And hey, Babylon is in Africa also. So now, when you're talking about a destruction of Babylon, now this is where the Most High was saying, come out of her because she's going to be destroyed. And then once Babylon is destroyed, that's when the nations are going to be weeping over her, because they can no longer buy nor sell and things of that nature, because she's destroyed. Now, but that system will no longer exist. Now, this is what we talk about. This is what we look forward to. When that system does not exist anymore, how are you going to live, Israel? How are you going to live? This system, Babylon, brought in technology, brought in GPS. This system got you, well, they had running water in Jerusalem. So I'm gonna have to take that one out. They gave you electricity. Well, I got to take cooking gas out too. You can formulate gas just from digging a hole in the ground. But how you think we're going to survive? The Most High was already telling us, you don't need that system to survive. We just got accustomed to it. They just gave it to us in a different way. That's all they did. They gave us the system in a different way that is not so much completely opposite of the continent. No, don't get me wrong. Those brothers and sisters, they use propane. Cooking, heating up water and things, they use propane. But when they don't have the money for propane, what do? They get coal. They put the coal, get some wood, burn it. Whether they got to cook or boil water, that's what they would do. Take it outside, start a fire, light it up, cook, whatever they need to do. And that's what they do. It's not too far from us. Only thing we do is walk up to a stove. Click, 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 click. Boosh, there go your fire. That's the only difference in it. Both of them can still burn you. That's one thing we do know. But we got to take for what the position that we are in right now. They're thinking they're playing us weak, but we're strong. We got to continue to think strong, be strong, speak strong. When you're telling people, and now, I mean, you can tell a person, and this is not something that you're telling them to curse them. It's just like, let's just say smoking cigarettes. You telling the person, hey, you know what, smoking a cigarette is not good for you. You know, that thing, it has some damaging effects to your body. My father used to call it cancer sticks. And but to tell a person, it's a certain way, brothers, that this is just me. I'm very mindful, at least I try to be mindful of what I say to another brother, because I do not want to bring something on to a brother that can be detrimental. We've seen it. Some of us grew up with it. Some parents sit up and told their kids, you ain't gonna amount to nothing. And the kids, oh, let me do it this way. Well, I told you, brothers and sisters, about this. Yeah, you know what, sister? Hold on. We do have to adjust some things. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie to you, Sister Cynthia. We do. we have to adjust a lot of things. And it's all about our mindset. The Most High said the healing for the nation of Israel starts when we are all back on the continent. That's when we start to heal. And like I said, right now, it's a praise moment of coming back together as a nation. That's what this moment is about. That's what this is the way we come to realize who we are. And we're praising him that he woke us up. We understand what happened when he woke us up, period. And we start speaking on it. You have never in your history seen, I'm gonna just say this, Black people rise up the way they're rising up, speaking the way they're speaking up. And I'm not just speaking about here in the United States. You got brothers in Africa that's speaking about who we are. The Congo, they had it on their TV show of who they are. And they was breaking. Deuteronomy 28 is an international scripture. All awakened Hebrews go straight to those scriptures. Yes, the Most High is responsible for that. We're that nation. This little small group, like I said, they're standing on top of the mountain yelling and telling our brothers and sisters who we are, how these nations are getting down. They can smile in your face, but we'll tell you, they will stab you in your back. This is us telling our brothers and sisters. This is us telling them. Now, unfortunately, their bandwidth of the nation is stronger than ours. I gotta take that lie back a little bit. We're getting strong, put it that way. The media is getting weak. It's getting weak. They can't lie like they used to. Their lies fall apart. Tucker Carlson, let's just take him for an example. When he was meeting with, what's that dude's name? Huckabee? Was it Huckabee or Huckleberry? I forgot what it was. But anyway, Tucker Carlson hemmed him up. He did. And I would just say unknowingly open up a door with a question saying, well, who really are the people of the Bible? They got to be on this planet Earth. They got to be on this planet Earth. There's a covenant with these people. Now, Tucker Carlson, yeah, seemed like he was getting into the scriptures. And so now he absolutely hemmed him up. He did. He hemmed him up. But like I said, he opened up a doorway of a question to the world. And then for the people that's already out there that's saying, hey, these Black people, they the people. Hey, they start looking at it. Because now they start looking at, wait a minute, Brother Dave, you said it was the camp that woke Tucker Carlson up? And he must have ran into him. Hey, let me tell you something. If that's the case, the Most High will use any and every one. That man right now, all right, let's go with what you're saying, Dave. Let's go with what you're saying. The camp may have had a following. Tucker Carlson got millions. He comes from TV. Now, and you know what I'm saying? Now, what he did, all right, the Most High used him. Now, I'm not saying, now, listen to me now when I say this, and I'm just saying this. The Most High he used him. Shalom, shalom, Brother Robert. I'm glad you stepped in, bro. The Most High used him with his platform. He's able to sit down with these people that's claiming this and claiming that. Now, the camps, can they sit down with Netanyahu? No, I doubt it. Can they sit down with these Hafiz? I doubt it very seriously. You know, I know Kanye did it. Yeah, he did. You're right, Sister Cynthia. He did. But I'm looking at the Most High will use, and he's going, and this is just the first. It's when that it started to take off. Now, could that be the lighting of a moment where it's going to blow up, where the world is going to realize from Tucker Carlson, hey, and you know, Brother Robert, I was saying the same thing. He has that platform. And now they're looking at it. And I'm talking, you know, individuals that's looking at these conversation with these so-called elite people. And now their lives are falling apart, period. And then the question goes, well, you know what? I have always noticed, and this will have to be something that's going to resonate with everybody, especially those in the United States, to the suffering of a particular people. They will have to see it. Why is it necessary for this country to change the history that they don't want the world to know about? They're a tad bit too late anyway. The world know. What are you gonna do? Get AI to erase it? That will never be erased. The Most High said, what was done in the dark shall come to the light. It's never going away. And a video of Tucker Carlson. Oh, he did. Oh, I didn't. All right, I'm gonna check. We walk out, man. I didn't know that. But I tell you, how the Most High is moving. Tucker Carlson probably couldn't have been walking down the street trying to go to Starbucks to get coffee or whatever, and walk past Camp of Brothers. And so, you know what? Don't get me wrong either, Dave. That's how I got started. I was working with a sister, you know, and she was telling me about who we are. And then I did a what do they call it? I did an internet call with her and her son. And don't get me wrong, they was laying scriptures down. Now at this time, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. They was laying the scriptures down. And I'm like, well, man, good night. I'm saying to myself now, they got a point here. This is what I'm saying now. They got a point. And so they kept on, but it was they had a anger I couldn't resonate with. You know, don't get me wrong now. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I said that. For the simple reason, coming up as Jehovah's Witnesses, they teach you that there's nobody above anyone. You know, we all the same. But they managed to keep the whites in, you know, this position. It was higher position. That's one thing I did notice. Now that's not, you know, but and so they was like, you know, Jehovah's Witness is all about peace and love. And then they had one scripture. This is their like logo scripture. You know the truth, and the truth will you will know. Wait a minute, hold on, not the truth. You will not set you free. What was the scripture they were using? You will know the truth by the love that is displayed. That was their logo scripture. And so when new ones, when people are coming into Jehovah's Witnesses, this is what everybody comes up there to meet them and everything. And truthfully, it's fake. I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that. Because once that person gets, let's say, comfortable with Jehovah's Witness, and then they give their life over and they get baptized and things, yeah, that dies down. You start to hear all the gossip that goes on within it. That's what you're going to have. You're going to hear the gossip. And then the moment that you may slip and fall on a sin or something, yeah, you may get disfellowship. You might get privately reproved. No, brothers are no. So when I met with the brothers, and truthfully, it was early, but they left something. Well, don't get me wrong, they planted a seed. That's what they did. And then roughly, it was before COVID. That's when I started to really searching things out, and I started questioning the brothers, the elders. But going back to Tucker Carlson and it's going to be known, brothers. It's going to get out there. And like who is it, Sister Cynthia? That brothers, I'm serious about this 2026. Now, I mean, it's just something. I can't truthfully explain it. It just seemed like this year is very important. And don't get me wrong, I do know that I got to figure out when the Passover is, because so many different brothers giving out different dates. They're giving out different dates as to when the Passover is to be, for us to recognize. I know last year was 2 different dates. Brothers told me, he said, well, bro, I don't know. I'm going to just do both of them. But this is that awakening, though. And whoever you are comfortable with as to this brother or this sister saying, is this date here, brothers? I mean, hey, if you feel that you want to do it twice, just to be honest, hey, so be it. We recognizing who we are. That's one thing we're doing. We're recognizing who we are, and we are trying our best to walk in those statues. That's what we're doing. It's going to get to the point, brothers, it's going to get to this point where the world is going to know who you are. It started already. It started with our awakening. Now the world is chiming in. The media is chiming in. And with this media channel, they're trying to. Let me go back. Now, how they are going to edit Tucker Carlson video, brothers and sisters, that remains to be seen, because I don't seriously believe that they're gonna be able to erase that. Shalom, shalom, Sister Angelo. I don't think they're gonna be able to erase that. They got themselves in a pretty bad position. You calling yourself me or you, and you not. Out here doing, they out here doing exactly what Yahushua said he's going to make them out to be. A synagogue of Satan. And that's exactly how they are moving. But all of this, at the same time, like I said, brothers, it's not playing us, well, they thinking they playing us weak, and it may appear that we are weak, but the world is going to get to a point, the world is going to need saving. The world is going to get to a point where it needs saving. There was this white lady, and this white lady, she was explaining on her YouTube channel how she teach her kids, if they ever get lost, She said, find a black man. That's what she teach her kids. And so she went on to explain the reason why she said that, because she got a little flack off that. But she went in and she did the numbers. She said, the world teaches us that black men are this way and that way. And she said, and it's wrong and it's misleading. She said, but for the vast murderers and rapists, she said, no, those people look like me. If I want to protect my child, that black man is going to take that child and take care of that child until the parent or authorities show up. She said, that's the history of black people. And like I said, the world is going to get to a point where it needs saving. The world already put you, Israel, on a pedestal. They call us black people, though. And they said, why black people ain't doing this? Why black people ain't doing that? Why are they asking that question about why black people are not doing this or doing that? Because they know exactly what we went through. When we didn't speak up, when it came to this election, we sat down, we sat it out. That's what we did. The world got affected when we shut up. The world is going to need saving. It got to get to a point where, and it's getting there, the world is going to be left with no option. It's going to get, especially when we go, yeah. When the minerals on that continent is all guarded by the people that's from that land and is divvied out the way it should be divvied out, or is sold to other lands, yeah, that's us. Jacob is about to sit down. That's what's about to happen. They're going to understand, because like I said, I stated earlier, the healing for Israel starts when all of Israel is on that one continent. That's when the healing starts. That's biblical. And so once we are here and the world going through what it's going through, yes, how is it the world, it's going to have to show itself. How is it that the world is asking this question now? How is it that these people, they left the four corners of the earth? It was televised. I just say hypothetically speaking, it was televised. We never seen anything like this before in our life. But those people go back home and they're back on their land and they're moving about as if they don't have a care in the world. But outside of that, the world is at war. You're talking about a tribulation. But they're looking at you, they're seeing what's going on. Now you got brothers and sisters right now that's taking boat rides to get to different countries so that they can have a better life. That is already reversing. That is already reversing. And you're going to start to see a reversal, more so of, when I say Gentiles, I'm talking about all the nation, of them taking that dangerous boat ride, because they understand the Most High is with these people. These biblical days never died. They were just shadowed out by the devil. These biblical times are real. That's what they're going to realize, that these biblical times are real, and that, hey, we're seeing their creator is with them. This is on the horizon, brothers. We just got to continue to stand on top of this mountain and yell to our brothers and sisters as to who we are. We got to. This is what we are supposed to do. This good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth. And then the end will come. Now, being preached. Now, you have other religions out here claiming that they was out there doing a global teaching. They was teaching a little bit of truth. That's all they was doing. They taught a little bit. They call them missionaries. And then you go into the continent, in certain countries, they kicking missionaries out. That's what they're doing. They're understanding the missionaries. No, they're not missionaries. They're spies, if anything. But we woke up. And we continue to yell from the mountaintop who we are. And we have scriptures to base everything upon. Now, yeah, it may at times, brothers, people look upside our head and call us crazy and things. But hey, they did the same thing with Yahusha. You're going to be called crazy, retarded. They're going to even say you doing the work of the devil. You're going to get that. You're going to get those labels put up on you. Yahushua went through the same thing. The same thing. But eventually, you're going to win over your brothers. You're going to win them over. Because no matter, you keep on yelling the truth, that seed, although how much you got to go through, it's going to eventually get through. Now, whether they want to keep that seed, that's when that free will kicks in then. That's when free will kicks in. And now, however they want to get down, hey, that's going to be up on them individually. These days, brothers and sisters, are nothing. This is something that this is not the time to be drawing back. It's rough, and it's going to get rougher. It is. It's going to get rough. Now, times are bad. They are. I'm hearing brothers losing jobs. And man, if y'all don't know how many, some of the things some brothers are going through. And this is the reason why I say pray for your brothers. They're going through some things. And when a brother get laid off his job and he's the breadwinner, that can be a lot of stress because we know this is what we're supposed to do. We go out and we do it. But when a brother or a father or a husband gets to a point, he can't even buy groceries. Imagine the stress that's upon him. But like I always say, brothers, stop. I ain't gonna say stop. Do not cut off the hand of the Most High. The only person that it can be impossible to do any miracles is that the man, but not so with the Most High. It's going to get rough. It's going to get troublesome. Sisters, support your husbands. This is not that time when, we're going to get frustrated, brothers, but be mindful of your frustration. Be mindful of your frustration because you do not want to come off working for the devil. I mean, we all seen frustration. We've seen, Sister Mayton, you need to go ahead and be a man and go get a job. Mm-hmm. But that man is accustomed to working. And see, then when you start cutting your husband down, you cutting yourself down. You're not going to continue to stand and thinking you're going to cut down what the Most High put in place. So always, this is just my encouragement. And being in this system, and we know what the system is set up to do. The system is set up to, hey, keep the man from the black woman, keep the black man from the black woman, from the black woman from the black man. This is what we got to understand. And then, brothers, we ain't even talking about the ones who's not even woke. This is where we got to be so mindful of our speech towards one another. Because that's the only way you're going to grow. That's the only time is when you want to grow. When you understand, this is my wife. This is my husband. And this is our family. A lot of changes may have to happen. You may have to start doing things differently. Until it gets to that time where the Most High say, it is enough. Send my people home. Because this is Babylon. And if things do turn out that, hey, you may find you a job, brothers and sisters, don't let that fool you. Do not let it fool you. Do not trust in it. The Most High said, pay back Caesar things to Caesar. The things that is owned by the Most High, pay back. And one thing you want to pay back to the Most High is trust. That's the greatest thing that you can ever give back to the Most High is trust. The system, it can hem you up. All it takes is somebody to look upside your head. We'll go ahead and fire him. But when you're trusting in the Most High, it's just like with Tucker Carlson. And then he came across some brothers on the corner. Hey, the Most High know how to take care of his people. Hold on, Sister Cynthia. Hold on, let me do it this way. All right, there you go. My son is awakening, and his wife told him that he is changing so much, and she's not sure she can stay around for the changes. What? He said, I can't stop change. Are you joking me, sister? See, but this is where, for your son, Sister Cynthia, and this is where he's at right now. When Yahushua said, if you love mother, father, brother, sister more than me, you're not worthy of me. This is where he had to put his trust in the Most High. That's the moment he's in. And yeah, it can throw something on you. The Most High created the husband and the wife to bond as one. That's what he did. But then when that bond is being broken by means of flesh, hey, we got to appeal to the spirit. That's what we have to do. And don't get me wrong now, sister. I'm just saying this, and it's, this is just me saying it. But now what your son may be going through, good night. You may be sitting there holding your son's hands while he sheds some tears. Yeah, you may be on that phone with your son for a moment. Because now, with this awakening, we all go make some choices. And don't get me wrong, Sister Cynthia. I have my son. And the same thing, I'm looking at it. I try to talk to him as much as possible, encourage him in things. And, don't get me wrong. He's moving. And in that direction. But that scripture of loving the Most High more than your family, yeah. I mean, what? Our forefather went through the same thing. Abraham, same thing. So your son is in that Abrahamic moment. And truthfully, I hope that it turns out well, that the Most High's great and holy name will continue to be magnified, and that he make the right choice. He has he's an awesome man, family man with 4 children. Oh, how long they've been married for 10 years? Okay. Yeah, I mean, sis, I tell you, when I say this, Sister Cynthia, prayer, yes, because now you praying for the Most High's spirit to be upon your son, to stay strong. Those are things that we pray to the Most High, and he divvies that out. You know what, sis? I kind of figured that. Let me do it this way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really weighing upon him, sis. It's weighing upon him. I tell you, with this awakening, sis, I mean, whew. But this is where he's at. And now, mind you, I'm not gonna sit up here and speak ill of his wife. That's one thing I'm not gonna do. It just be when she said he's moving so much. Hey, that may be she may be saying it in a good way. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that, brothers. Because now he's really taking into consideration the scriptures. She may not be as fast with him, and she might not be catching or understanding how he's moving. The Most High may be moving him on. Not saying that he's leaving his wife behind. No. Not saying that he's leaving his wife behind, because he is doing things according to scripture with his wife. He's staying with his wife, and it's concerning to him about his wife. But one thing, this is just my encouragement, Sister Cynthia, encourage your son to plead to the Most High, and that he, give his wife patience or understanding, and just look at the big picture. When I say big picture, I'm talking about anything that is outside of the flesh. Who is this man to me? Give her that, ask the Most High Spirit to be able for her to ask herself that question about who is her husband, truthfully, to her. And if he's that man that she been always want, trust and believe that's what she's going to see. She's going to see exactly who he is and why it is a necessity for her to stay with that man. That's just my encouragement, sis. That's just my encouragement. Brothers and sisters, like I said, we're going through some things, and we want to see it. And it's best that we go through 3 things together. The scripture says, truthfully, the scripture says 2 heads are better than 1. It may seem overwhelming. I mean, when you got kids, you got a family you're taking care of and things of that nature. Hey, but the Most High said, trust me. That's all he's been saying. For thousands of years, he's been telling our forefathers, trust me. Trust me. And now here we are. Time of judgment, a time of awakening, and a time where this greater exodus is at hand. This is not the time for us to fall back. What we go fall back to? We ain't got nothing to fall back on. If you fall back, you go hit that heart. And concrete said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna go lay right here. You gonna hurt yourself. This is not that time, brothers. Pray for your brothers constantly. Things are rough out here. But hey, it was granted to the devil to wear out the saints. So hey, we come through some we came through some things. And in the Most High, we can go through some other things. Brothers and sisters, pray for your brothers. Stay real with this awakening. Walk on water. Defy the flesh. These are the things we need to do, continue to do. You brothers and sisters, be safe out there. I know I got caught. It was a winter storm. I woke up this morning and man, they had like 18 inches on the ground. And spring's supposed to be starting in 4 days. This stuff just blew me away because I left another state. It was 80 degrees. Woke up at 17 degrees. I'm just shell shocked. But it is what it is. And this time of the end, the Most High said, you will not be able to determine winter from spring and things. Oh, that stuff is happening, brothers. All of this stuff is happening. But it is what it is. You brothers and sisters, stay safe out there. Until next time, shalom. Here we go. People calling, texting.